a little bit of time to read the paragraph and then ask any doubts. So all of the important information is in bold, and then we'll move to थोड़े बहुत static के जो questions हैं from this particular paragraph and related to it that I'll ask, and we can move to the static part. Okay, so basically, if you're looking at the content of this particular paragraph या जो भी information हम अभी देख रहे हैं, it's about floating solar energy projects. Right? Solar energy क्या होता है? So whenever we're trying to generate electricity from sunlight, that is what we're terming as solar energy. And basically, हम sustainable forms of energy देख रहे हैं. So at present, electricity is leading to a lot of atmospheric damage, a lot of environmental damage, which is causing global warming too from a lot of aspects. So we are looking at sustainable forms of energy which can save the earth and at the same time provide enough energy to cover electricity throughout the earth. Now, which are the international organizations which are providing financial assistance to this particular project? यहाँ से मैं थोड़े static questions हैं. International Finance Corporation and World Bank. Can someone tell me when the World Bank was established? Year, बस year चाहिए. Chat में डाल दो please answer पता है तो yeah you can also switch on your mic and try. Anyone? Yes, the World Bank was established in 1944. Okay, two other short static questions. Where is the headquarters of the World Bank situated at present? Again, chat box, yeah, my phone. I think so, yes. But that is a very specific answer. What is the city?
Hi Indrani, this is Anoop.
Yes, ma'am. Clear है मैम अभी.
Is it fine? हाँ.
हाँ मैम.
Okay. Okay. David Malpass. Yes, that is the right answer. Okay, with that, we will move on to the different relevant parts of this passage. Okay, so यहाँ जो points bold में हैं, that is the only points that are relevant and important for CLAT at present. So, what is the floating solar power plant? The floating solar power plant refers to solar panels installed on structures that float on the surface of water. So, very self-explanatory. जो basically जो solar panels होते हैं, which absorb the energy of the sun, which absorb the sunlight and convert it into electricity. This particular equipment, instead of being on the surface of roofs, so abhi jo solar panels hote hain, they are installed on the roofs of houses so they can maximize sunlight and they can take in the maximum energy of the sun. However, these particular solar panels ये floating है. इसका क्या advantage है? First advantage is no land occupancy. मतलब you don't need any area of land, you don't need someone's house to install these particular things. Abhi they are also helping to reduce water evaporation, right? So with the effects of global warming, water temperature is going up, water evaporation, we're losing water basically. So to save water, it is also highly beneficial because ये चीज क्या है? They are floating on the surface and they are covering the surface. तो पानी का जो surface है उसको ढक के रख रहे हैं. So water is not being able to evaporate, which is good for us because right now we're losing water. और क्या important चीज है? What are the two types of floating solar power plant? So there are two types. First is the floating photovoltaic solar power plant, which uses photovoltaic panels. इसमें से ज्यादा याद रखना जरूरी नहीं है, बस ये चीज कि they use photovoltaic panels. And second is the floating concentrated solar power system. So it uses mirrors to redirect the solar power to a tower. The first one में क्या होता है? They directly absorb the energy into the photovoltaic panels जो अभी भी use होते हैं. Second में they use mirrors to actually reflect the solar power, to actually reflect the sunlight to किसी tower जहां से वो convert होती है into electricity, into solar energy. Okay, so we'll move on to the next passage. किसी का कोई भी question है तो I'm still looking at the chat box. From this particular passage, if anyone has a question, I'll take it. And again, 30-40 seconds to read this particular passage before I ask you थोड़े बहुत static questions from it. Okay. Okay, first static question. In reference to this particular thing that we're looking at, the decision violated the right to life of citizens guaranteed under Article 21. We'll go into the details, but पहली चीज ये है कि which articles of the Constitution comprise the fundamental rights and which part of the Constitution is it? तो बता पाएगा?
Part 3, Article 12 to 35.
Yes, very good. It is part 3 of the Constitution, Articles 12 to 35. जो भी answer किया, I can't see you, but okay. Very good. Okay. Second, we're looking at this particular thing. The current parliament, which was built in 1927, was not intended to house a bicameral legislature. What is a bicameral legislature? Anyone? Even if you're able to give me a basic, बहुत basic definition.
Lower house and upper house.
Yes, that is the very definition. It is lower house and upper house. तो अभी present में we have the लोक सभा and the राज्य सभा, right? इसमें भी मैं थोड़ा static questions पूछूंगी, but पहली बात ये है कि bicameral legislature was derived from the UK system. So they also have a lower house and upper house, but they are called by different names. In India, the lower house is the Lok Sabha and the upper house is the Rajya Sabha, and these both of them function in tandem to actually have the legislature or the parliament, right? Okay. तो अभी मुझे ये जानना है कि लोक सभा का maximum capacity क्या है? What is the maximum number of members the Lok Sabha can have, and what is the present number of members in the Lok Sabha?
543.
ये 543 क्या बोल रहे हो? Maximum या present?
Maximum.
Anyone else?
552 maximum.
552 is the maximum number of members that the Lok Sabha or the lower house can have. And what is the present number of members?
543.
545. Present Lok Sabha has 545 members. Maximum number of members is 552. What about Rajya Sabha? Rajya Sabha का maximum number of members क्या है? And how many elected members?
Two member elected and 243 total is 10.
Okay. Total number of members is right. Rajya Sabha has a maximum number of members of 245. But इसमें से 233 members are elected and 12 are nominated by the president. तो ये जो लोग president nominate करते हैं, they are basically ऐसे लोग who have achieved बहुत ज़्यादा in their fields. They are at the top of their fields, and these may be actors, singers. कभी-कभी retired Supreme Court judges are nominated to the Rajya Sabha. ऐसे लोगों को president nominate करता है to become the nominated members of the Rajya Sabha. These are 12 seats. अब final static questions from this. Who is the chairman of the Lok Sabha and who is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha? And who is the speaker of the Rajya Sabha, more specifically?
M. Venkaiah Naidu.
Okay, yes. So हम M. Venkaiah Naidu नहीं बोलते हैं because the office of the vice president is the speaker of the Rajya Sabha. So basically, if today M. Venkaiah Naidu decides to resign, whoever is in his place will automatically become the speaker of the Rajya Sabha, and it is an ex officio chairmanship of the Rajya Sabha, which basically means by virtue of the office. So simply because वो vice president है, जो भी है उस chair में, vice president का chair में, he becomes the speaker of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, and of course, chairman of the Lok Sabha will be the speaker who is elected again from among the members of the Lok Sabha. Okay, so इसमें से थोड़ा बहुत, yes, Om Birla is the current speaker of the Lok Sabha. Very good. Okay, तो इसमें से थोड़ा बहुत अभी जो relevant points है वो देख लेते हैं. So the name of the project, obviously, to erect the new parliament is the Central Vista project. ल्यूटन्स गार्डन इन न्यू दिल्ली का 86 एकड़ लैंड रिमूव करना है इनको और रेनोवेट करना है. ठीक है. तो renovate, basically they're going to change the structure and they're going to create a new parliament building. It includes this particular area in Lutyens Garden. It includes landmark structures of the Indian government such as Rashtrapati Bhavan, Parliament, India Gate and the North and South Block. तो बैकग्राउंड क्या था? अप्रैल 2020 में एक पिटिशन फाइल किया गया था सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, where the center basically पहले से they had wanted to renovate the 86 acres of Lutyens Garden. The petitioner had said कि renovating this and turning it into the new parliament building would make sure that people do not get access to green spaces. So जैसे कि तुम लोगों का right ले रहे हो to get access to open air, to green spaces, and that is a violation of their fundamental right to life under Article 21. So this petitioner further argued that the plan violated the master plan of Delhi 2021. So this particular plan under which the petitioner argued कि renovating those 86 acres of Lutyens Garden would violate that. Supreme Court heard this particular case. They said that there were violations of municipal law, change of land use and violations of environmental law. However, with certain modifications, the plan still went ahead. Abhi, about the current parliament. Current parliament was built in 1927. Again, like we are saying, it was not intended to house upper house and lower house, but just for the legislative council. Okay. Okay. So now that we've finished this passage, again, before going to the next one, if anyone has any questions, chat box mein dal do. Varna again, 30-40 seconds to read this, and then we'll talk about thore bahut static questions.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
राज्यसभा में एंग्लो इंडियन यूज होता है, वो तो अभी खत्म हो गया है.
Anglo-Indian members were nominated. 2 Anglo-Indian members were nominated as far as I know. But are you sure it has been abolished?
Yes.
Okay, I am not aware whether the Anglo-Indian members have been abolished, but I will check on that and get back to you. As far as I knew, it was not Rajya Sabha, it was Lok Sabha में 2 Anglo-Indian members nominate किया जाता था. Okay. I will have to check and get back to you in the next class whether that has been abolished or not. So this particular passage, again, in reference to COVID-19 and vaccination in general. Okay, so पहली बात, when is World Health Day celebrated in relation to the World Health Organization? Chat box या mic, जो भी you guys are using, sorry. When is World Health Day celebrated? Yes, 7th April. And why is it celebrated on 7th April? अनुराग, if you want to explain why, क्यों celebrate किया जाता है 7th April पे World Health Day? Okay. तो WHO का World Health Organization का foundation day is 7th April 1948, and that is specifically why World Health Day is celebrated on 7th April. WHO headquarters कहाँ है? Which country and which city? Both are
Geneva,
Switzerland. Yes, Geneva, Switzerland. And who is the Director General of WHO at present?
Tedros Adhanom.
Tedros Adhanom. Yes. तो ये नाम आप लोगों ने सुना होगा काफी कोविड के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, because this guy, he did a lot of press conferences. He came up and spoke a lot about COVID और क्यों मास्क पहनना चाहिए, क्यों WHO guidelines के साथ स्टिक करना चाहिए. तो it is a very relevant question with respect to CLAT this year, because बिकॉज ऑफ कोविड बहुत सारी चीजें नहीं हुए 2020 में. आई मीन वी डिडंट हैव अ लॉट ऑफ लैंडमार्क केसेस, कोर्ट्स बंद थे, वी डिडंट हैव अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. तो भी पुरानी चीजें भी थोड़ा बहुत रेलिवेंट हो चुके हैं फ्लैट 2021 के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में. ओके, फाइनल क्वेश्चन फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर पैसेज. इंडिया में अभी 2 वैक्सीन दिए जा रहे हैं. कैन एनीवन टेल मी द नेम्स ऑफ द वैक्सीन?
Covishield, Covaxin.
Covaxin and Covishield. That's right. Okay. हाँ, अनुराग, you are right as well. Okay. तो अभी ये थोड़ा देख लेते हैं इसमें क्या relevant information है. Okay. So, which Indian institute has successfully isolated and cultured the UK COVID-19 variant? Very important question. National Institute of Virology, Pune. Okay. What is India doing to fight against the UK COVID-19 variant? Okay. It isn't that relevant, but India has temporarily suspended all the flights coming from UK. RT-PCR test mandatory किया गया है. So basically everyone who comes from the UK will have to bring a negative corona report. Standard operating protocol was issued to the states and union territories to tackle the mutant variant. Abhi, because all the flights have been suspended, there's something that you should know as well. So just like we had Vande Bharat mission when COVID had just started, जहाँ लोगों को घर वापस लौटा रहा था गवर्नमेंट विथ एयर इंडिया वाले फ्लाइट्स. अभी सिमिलरली वी हैव एयर बबल अरेंजमेंट्स. नाउ व्हाट आर दीज एयर बबल अरेंजमेंट्स? So basically high risk individuals or professionals who are returning to their countries even when there is COVID-19 still present in these countries, they carry negative COVID tests and they are allowed to travel between only certain cities and certain countries. जैसे कि मैं भी कोलकाता में हूँ, कोविड बबल के अंडर यूके और कोलकाता के बीच में कोई डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट नहीं है. सो इट्स लंदन टू दिल्ली या लंदन टू बैंगलोर, ऐसे कुछ जगह. इट्स वेरी स्पेसिफिक सिटीज, वेरी स्पेसिफिक सिटीज ऑन द अदर इन द अदर कंट्री एज वेल. लंदन में यूके में इट्स जस्ट लंदन. इंडिया में अभी 1-2 जगह और है. एंड दिस कोविड बबल इज बेसिकली अलाउइंग पीपल टू ट्रैवल. अभी more relevant things in this paragraph, they identified a new COVID-19 variant is sent to INSACOG or Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genetic Consortium Labs. Now, what is INSACOG? It was launched in the backdrop of the emergence of the UK variant. तो भी जो second strain आया है UK से, उसके backdrop पे launch किया गया था. Aim is to accelerate virus surveillance, characterization and genome sequencing. Okay. इसमें से बाकी और कुछ इतना relevant नहीं है. So if anyone has any questions, again, chat box में. But we'll move on to the next passage. Okay. So again, not that relevant, but we're going to talk about जो थोड़े बहुत important चीजें हैं. What is atomic time? Atomic time provides the exact speed at which the clock ticks. So basically, actual length of a second. So physics अगर आप लोग पढ़े हैं तो there is oftentimes a slight error, a slight difference in what is the actual length of a second और जो हम second मानते हैं. That happens because of atmospheric conditions, because of environmental conditions, lot of चीजें. But this atomic time, it provides the exact length or the actual length of a second. अब International System of Units or the SI unit defines 1 second in atomic time as the time taken by the cesium-133 atom in the ground state to oscillate a number of times. Not that relevant for that, but we're going to look at the significance of National Atomic Time. Now, with the newly inaugurated National Atomic Time, India has become self-reliant in measuring time within the range of a nanosecond. ये बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है because this will help us not only in physics departments, in chemistry department, but also in space sectors, in helping send rockets across, because everything there is calculated down to the nanosecond. India has now achieved the accuracy level of 2.8 nanoseconds, matching the international standard time. Okay. What is International Atomic Time? Now, International Atomic Time is calculated by taking weighted average of more than 300 clocks. बस इतना ही जरूरी है याद रखना. Okay. International Bureau of Weights and Measures, the BIPPM. Where is it located? In Paris, France. Again, this is thoda important. And finally, Universal Time. Universal Time is the time standard based on the rotation of the Earth. And of course, the Greenwich Meridian Time is a universal time. So the Greenwich Meridian Time, जो GMT है, it is considered to be 00 and it's considered to be the base time. कोई मुझे बता सकता है कि इंडिया के टाइम को क्या बताते हैं? For example, like Greenwich Meridian Time is GMT. What is India's time?
IST,
And what does IST stand for?
Indian Standard Time.
Indian Standard Time or IST. So IST is said to be 5.5 hours ahead of GMT. So basically, जो medians और meridians होता है, तो the meridian that passes through Greenwich, the 00 meridian, that is considered to be the starting point of time. And as you go around the globe, time increases. As you move towards India, for example, time will increase, time runs faster or ahead in India. Faster is the wrong notion. Time runs ahead in India than Greenwich by 5.5 hours. और दूसरे साइड में आप जाओगे जैसे USA के साइड में, तो it runs behind Greenwich Meridian Time. बस इतना ही relevant है इस चीज में. So we're going to move to draft Arctic policy. Again, थोड़ा time to read it before we go ahead. Okay. तो इसमें से पहले देख लेते हैं क्या क्या relevant है. I don't have that many static questions from this passage. Okay. First thing, ये आप लोग नोट करना चाहते हैं तो प्लीज कर लीजिए. India became observer of the Arctic Council in 2013 and its membership as an observer was renewed in 2018 for another 5 years. So oftentimes CLAT में से questions आते हैं कि कौन कहाँ का observer है, कौन कहाँ का permanent member है, observer nation है और कब था या what is the term of that observer nation. तो ये चीज important है. Next is what are the 5 main pillars of the Arctic policy? Science and research, economic and human development, transportation and connectivity, national capacity building, and governance and international cooperation. Moving ahead, who is going to implement the Arctic policy? The National Center for Polar and Ocean Research that operates under the Ministry of Earth Sciences. Now, इस PDF हमने ऐसे बनाया कि all of the important points are bolded. So when you guys read it later on, when you're going to send you the PDF or drop it in the Google Classroom, तब बस ये bold points ही पढ़ना है. Okay, India and Arctic research. India signed the Svalbard Treaty in Paris. Okay, थोड़ा static question. It's थोड़ा difficult, but when was the Svalbard Treaty signed? Year चाहिए बस. If anyone can guess. Okay. Svalbard Treaty was signed in Paris in 1920. ठीक है? India signed it in 1920. India signed it in Paris, sorry, and the Svalbard Treaty itself was signed in 1920. ठीक है? Okay, and one final static question, which is thoda distantly related, but there was another particular treaty that was signed just a year before in 1990 in France itself, which brought about the end of the World War I. What was this particular treaty called? ये थोड़ा static history का question है. You can say World War I, the end. This treaty was basically a peacemaking treaty. What was the name of the treaty? It was also signed in France and just a year before this World War Treaty. And if anyone wants to guess. Treaty of Versailles. Yes, Treaty of Versailles was signed in 1919 in France and it brought about the end of the First World War. Okay. A final cheese in this passage, India launched its first scientific expedition to the Arctic in 2007, very important. And how will Arctic policy help India achieve its SDGs? The Arctic policy has been synchronized and adapted to Goal 11 of Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. And this Goal 11 is sustainable cities and communities. So through the Arctic, हम establish करना चाहते हैं sustainable cities and cities which are basically connected to the Arctic, and again trying to prevent global warming in the Arctic and trying to prevent the ice from melting. Okay, we'll move to the next passage. Abhi. Questions in the chat box if there are any. Okay, first static question. who is the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Alphabet at present? Yes, Sundar Pichai is the Chief Executive Officer of Alphabet. And who is the CEO of Google at present? Kabir, was your answer for Alphabet or Google?
सुंदर पिचाई
कौन बोल रहा है मुझे दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है.
मैम सुंदर पिचाई मैम
Yes, Sundar Pichai is the CEO of both Alphabet and Google. Yes, okay. Okay, तो थोड़ा बहुत relevant चीजें देख लेते हैं. ये बस headers याद रखना जरूरी है. We're not going to go into too much detail, but basically Alphabet अभी is the parent company of Google and Waymo, which is a self-driving car company. And the National Labor Relations Board of the United States has said that Alphabet is conducting unlawful monitoring and questioning of workers, which is why this whole controversy emerged about transparency and how Alphabet and Google basically अपने employees को ठीक से treat नहीं करते हैं, right? So, which is what actually led to the formation of ये जो चीज़ है Alphabet Workers Union, which taps years of growing activism in the company. So it is sort of एक labor union का form in Alphabet and Google. अभी ये बस headers याद रखेंगे. There was a sexual exploitation case which was a huge controversy because in Alphabet and Google specifically. एक artificial intelligence controversy भी हुआ था where Google employees opposed the Maven project, which was to be held with the US Ministry of Defense. So the government wanted to use artificial intelligence, they wanted to use AI to improve army and defense, and Google wasn't ready to enter into the army business. More specifically, Google के जो employees थे, उनको नहीं जाना था war business में. So they wrote letters of protest. More than 3,100 employees wrote letters of protest and prevented them from going into this particular project. Transparency issues. Okay, ये थोड़ा बहुत rumor है, but there are controversies that Google is secretly working on a search engine for China, and the company named it Dragonfly, and then they brought out that the rumor was true. ठीक है, and the employees basically, so if you don't know, there is a sort of hate या resent बोल सकते हो in the United States against China. So basically ये US के employees they got really angry, and even more so because China बहुत aggressive है as a nation. China yields towards or tends towards war, and when the employees figured out that Google was actually working on a search engine for China, there was a huge controversy and they asked for basically transparency. ठीक है? Final static question. Very recently, another how do I put this? Another software giant was accused of not having transparency during the time of the US elections. So अभी 2020 में खत्म हुआ है. What was that company? And who was its CEO or founder? जो भी बोलो. Guess कर सकते हो. बहुत ही obvious सा answer है.
Huawei.
No, not
Twitter.
Huawei. No. It's a parent company. जो company का मैं बात करूँ, it's a parent company for a lot of software giants and a lot of social media giants. Not Microsoft.
Huawei.
It's Facebook. So basically US में भी elections के time there was this controversy कि Facebook was using targeted ads. अब targeted ads क्या है? Basically putting forward Republican ads for Donald Trump, ads in favor of Donald Trump, and sort of inciting, inspiring people to vote for this particular guy. So there was a court trial and everything, and there was also a case made against Facebook for violating privacy. And okay, किसी ने मुझे ये नहीं बताया कि Facebook का CEO अभी कौन है. waiting for the answer before we move to the next one. Yes, Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, very obvious answer. But so basically there was this court case. Facebook was actually brought up to trial in the US Parliament as well. They were violating transparency, they were violating privacy, and they got out of it, but there was a huge controversy, especially during election time again. Okay, next passage and next paragraph, 30-40 seconds to read it again, and we're going to go to थोड़े बहुत static questions. Okay. पहला चीज तो ये है कि Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO, when was it founded? I need the year. Guess we कर सकते हो. Of course, it's a very valid idea to take a guess.
1958.
1958. 1958. Yes, DRDO was founded in 1958. Headquarters कहाँ है DRDO के?
Delhi.
Delhi. And chairman? Anyone else? Chairman? Yes, G. Satish Reddy is the chairman of DRDO at present. Okay, so let's move to the paragraph specific questions. Okay, Mahametro. Okay, important to remember that Mahametro refers to the Maharashtra Metro Rail Corporation, and it is a joint venture between the government of India and the government of Maharashtra. So between the union government and the state government. Now, what are the key features of the agreement? That DRDO will render technical support to implement the advanced biodigester MK2 technology to treat human waste in the metro rail network. So basically, a way to compost and treat human waste in the metro rail network, and this particular thing is going to be facilitated. DRDO help करने वाले हैं to ensure कि ये technical support दी जा रही है. Okay. ये थोड़े बहुत चीजें you guys should read when we send over the file, but it is not that relevant. But so basically the process involves an anaerobic process, and अगर हम class 6-7 की biology पढ़े हुए हैं तो anaerobic is something that occurs in the absence of free or combined oxygen. So oxygen के बिना they are going to sort of digest is not the right word, but they're going to decompose the human waste, and they're going to use bacteria for this particular thing. So ये bacteria will feed upon the fecal matter and ensure कि वो decompose हो रहा है ठीक से. Again, next एक दो चीजें उतना relevant नहीं है. तो basically what paragraph 6 is कि the राष्ट्रीय कामधेनु आयोग has recently announced that it is to conduct a national level Gau Vigyan or Cow Science online exam. Exam is to be held every year starting from 2021. उतना relevant नहीं है, but अभी recently इस पे बहुत controversy हुआ था, so better to read it than regret in the exam hall. Okay, Department of Animal Husbandry has set up a control room after confirmation of bird flu in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, and Himachal Pradesh. Control room will also abide by the National Action Plan of Avian Influenza. Okay, important to remember that there is a National Action Plan for avian influenza or bird flu. And last थोड़े बहुत चीजें that we need to remember is there are 3 types of influenza viruses: type A, type B, and type C. And type A can affect humans as well. And finally, what is GISRS? So GISRS full form ये है, full form याद रखना जरूरी है again because CLAT में बहुत full forms आते हैं. Global Influenza Surveillance and Response System. Okay, launched in 1952 by the World Health Organization. इसके साथ भी हम वो चीजें connect करेंगे जो कि अभी हम World Health Organization के बारे में किए. That is who is chairman, where is headquarters. ये सब याद रखना जरूरी है. And we're looking at the global influenza strategy as well. So it was launched by World Health Organization for the years 2019 to 2030. So an essential 10-year plan. And ये याद रखना बहुत जरूरी है कि timeline क्या है. Okay. we'll go to paragraph 8. Again, 30 seconds to read the paragraph. बस ऊपर से ही पढ़ना है. Okay. The World Bank has recently released the Global Economic Prospects report. Again, flat focus a lot on ये report, वो index. तो उसके findings थोड़ा बहुत हम याद रखेंगे. According to the report, the Indian economy is to contract by 9.6% in 2020, and it will recover 5.4% in 2021. Okay. On the other hand, the world economy is going to expand by 4% in 2021. Yeah. और क्या important है इसमें? India is facing its first technical recessionary phase. So recession मतलब basically negative or more accurately to put it, losses in quarters, yeah, losses in the financial year. What is technical recessionary phase? When the GDP growth is negative for 2 consecutive quarters or more than the period, it is called the technical recessionary phase. What is GDP? अगर कोई मुझे बता सकता है? A definition या full form?
Gross domestic product.
Yes, correct. And what exactly is GDP?
Total amount of goods and services produced in a year by country.
Total amount of goods and services produced in a year within the country. ठीक है? Okay. तो ये थोड़ा बहुत इकोनॉमिक्स की चीजें भी याद रखना जरूरी है. Maybe we'll take some static economics के class as well in the future because ये आते रहता है class में. Okay. And ये चीज according to the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, more than 50 lakh salaried persons lost their job in 2020-21. Basically, जो COVID-19 pandemic का effect हुआ था, where they lost their, where basically there was mass scale unemployment because लोग काम करने नहीं चाह रहे थे, right? We weren't working in a physical environment and we didn't require physical offices, we didn't require a lot of physical activities. People lost their jobs. Okay. The Asian Development Bank predicted that India's growth will contract by 9% in 2020-21. Okay, in this context, short question on Asian Development Bank. Just 2 छोटे questions. When was it founded? Year and headquarters. Headquarters बस country भी चलेगा. Chat box पे या mic on करके whatever works for you guys. When was Asian Development Bank founded and where are its headquarters? Okay, cool. So Asian Development Bank was founded in the year 1996. Okay, 1996, and the headquarters are situated in Philippines. Okay, so on that note, we'll go to the next passage. The IRDAI is to introduce standard products covering the risk of fire and allied perils. Okay. 1 minute to read this passage. Okay. So, पहले थोड़े static questions देख लेते हैं. IRDAI का, again, just like any other organization, I am going to ask for founding year, headquarters, and current chairman. 1999 founding year, yes, Aviksha. Headquarters and chairman. Still looking for those 2 answers. Hyderabad. Headquarters are at Hyderabad, yes. Chairman. Yes, Subhash Chandra Kuntia. Okay, so we'll move into this specific, yes, it is Subhash Chandra Kuntia. We'll move into questions related to this specific paragraph. So IRDAI will introduce a standard home insurance policy that will cover the risk of fire and other related dangers, right? ज़्यादा details में जाने का ज़रूरत नहीं है as usual, but we're going to look at these 1-2 things. What is Bharat Shukshma Udyam Suraksha? It is the standard product for enterprises for which the total risk value is up to 5 crores. So basically, जो बड़े-बड़े industries होते हैं, enterprises होते हैं, जहाँ you have a large number of products where the entire value of your product is up to 5 crores, within 5 crores that is, it will provide coverage, it will provide insurance for machinery, buildings, plant, stocks and other assets. So जो भी industrial plants होते हैं उसके जो factory, building, उसमें जो machinery होता है वो सब कभी खराब हो गया या for any sort of disaster, for any sort of accident, if they are ruined, then insurance will cover that. And Bharat Laghu Udyam Suraksha works for those in the exact same way for जिनका risk value is above 5 crores. जिनका 5 crores से ज़्यादा है risk value, it works for those. Yeah. Okay. Again, 30 seconds to read this particular passage. What is avian flu or bird? What is avian influenza or bird flu? Okay, we just did it in very little detail, but अभी थोड़ा detail में cover करेंगे. Okay, cool. So before we move into this particularly, we're going to connect it थोड़ा बहुत to COVID because both are viruses and अभी जो scene है with respect to COVID and what is happening, we are going to look at थोड़ा बहुत static questions. First thing is the COVID-19 virus. What is it called? What is the official name of the virus? If anyone can tell me.
COVID-19.
Not the specific name that I'm looking for. Anyone else? Close. A SARS virus. Okay, it's a SARS COVID-2. So basically, there was 2003 में SARS का एक form आया था, which was not COVID, but COVID was also a variety of the SARS virus, which is why it was named so. Okay, and Spanish flu. Spanish flu is, as far as I know, a historical disease. I don't think COVID is called Spanish flu. Okay. Right, where was I? So COVID-19 virus, is it an RNA virus or is it a DNA virus? So दोनों में difference होता है. DNA is what we have in our human bodies. RNA is the DNA without some particular proteins and without a particular strand. Is COVID-19 an RNA virus or a DNA virus?
RNA virus.
It is an RNA virus. And finally, what is the full form of SARS? उन्होंने SARS बोला, but what is the full form? Anyone? Okay. Fine, ठीक है. It is a severe acute respiratory syndrome. That is the full form of SARS, SARS. Okay, now let's look at avian influenza or bird flu. ठीक है. Okay, humans were first known to have contracted bird flu in 1997, and this particular strain, ये पहला था to actually infect humans. तो H5N1 ये याद रखना जरूरी है. Right. And again, it occurred following an outbreak in a live bird market in Hong Kong. Okay. According to the World Health Organization, the H5N1 does not spread from person to person. So similarly, जैसे COVID person to person spread हो सकता है through coughing, through sneezing, through all of these activities. H5N1 can only be transmitted from the actual bird who has the virus. This bird का bird flu है to any particular person, but it cannot be transmitted from person to person. Yeah. And of course, it is a deadly virus, and most bird flu cases cause death in humans. Okay. So we're going to move to the next passage. इसमें से static questions नहीं है उतना, but yes, थोड़ा बहुत हम देख लेंगे इस passage को. Okay. The Delhi government recently issued guidelines to reduce the weight of school bags of students in the National Capital Region under its Delhi school bag policy. Okay. Key features, थोड़े बहुत हम याद रखेंगे, should not be more than 10% of the body weight of the students for students of classes 1 to 10. Normal चीजें जो अभी है, no homework should be issued to students of class 1 and 2. Okay, rest of the passage is not that relevant. एक मैं static question पूछूंगी. National Education Policy was passed in 2020. So after that particular policy being passed, what percentage of the national GDP do we spend on education right now? And is it an increased percentage from before the policy, or is it a decreased percentage?
2.3%.
It is an increased percent by
Increase.
6%.
6%, yes, okay. So before the National Educational Policy 2020, we used to spend 4.6% of our GDP on education. Right now, we are spending 6%. Yeah. Okay. We are going to move to the next paragraph. Okay. The National Board of Wildlife recently approved advisory for human-wildlife conflict management. इसमें सब थोड़े बहुत चीजें याद रखेंगे. First thing is this Wildlife Protection Act. When was it passed? Wildlife Protection Act was passed in 1972. Okay, and this final thing, what is the recovery program for critically endangered species? This is one of the 3 components of centrally funded scheme called the Integrated Development of Wildlife Habitats, and this particular program was started in 2009. Next paragraph is on India-Japan foreign policies and India-Japan relations. So when we're looking at this particular foreign relation, we also have to go back thoda bahut to what India-Japan relations have been in the past and what they are right now. Let's look at the current MOU. Okay? So under this MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, India will send skilled laborers to Japan. The only condition is that the workers should have qualified in the required skill test and the Japanese language test. Okay. Next relevant point, a joint working group is to be set up to implement the Memorandum of Understanding. 14 sectors utna relevant nahi hai, but next important part is, what is the India-Japan nuclear deal? Sorry. The nuclear deal between India and Japan was signed in 2016, and the deal raised concern as India was a non-nuclear proliferation treaty member. So, a particular treaty hai, and India has basically signed it saying that they won't participate in nuclear warfare. However, they made this particular nuclear deal, and the reason was because it was key to India's deals with French and US nuclear firms that had stakes in Japan or were owned by Japanese firms. Okay? And what are the key India-Japan projects? In 2015, India agreed to introduce the Shinkansen system, which is the high-speed bullet train of Japan. Okay? India and Japan had formed Act East Forum that aims to expand the collaboration between India and the Northeast and in Japan. Okay, one more thing that happened in 2019, जो यहाँ mention नहीं है. There was another Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, between India and Japan in 2019, where they agreed to develop one city of India and one city of Japan as sister cities. So basically, whatever would happen in the Indian city would also happen in the Japanese city, और जो Japanese city में हो रहा था, वो Indian city में भी. Can someone guess what these 2 cities are? The names of the 2 cities, which were the sister cities under this particular MOU. Especially the Indian city. If anyone can guess. Japanese city thoda obscure hai. No, it is not Nagpur. It's a city in Gujarat.
Ahmedabad.
Yes, it is Ahmedabad, and the Japanese city is Kobe. Okay? So Ahmedabad and Kobe were developed as sister cities, and I think this MOU is still in progress actually, and it was signed in 2019. Okay? We will move to the next paragraph again. So 40 seconds to read the paragraph and then we'll go into questions. We're going to remember a few important points. An international team of researchers led by the University of Oxford, this is important, have developed a new approach to survey African elephants using satellite images and artificial intelligence. Okay? So basically they are using satellite orbiting, which is they have installed a satellite in the orbit of the Earth and they are using this satellite to picture or to use or to click images of more than 5,000 square kilometers. Okay? And then this captured image or whatever picture they're taking through the satellite, they run it through software that can detect elephants and it will eliminate other objects so they can just count the number of elephants. Okay? Abhi, it is far more effective because current methods are ye cheezein, manual counting and manned aircraft. So either people go on ground and they look for elephants and manually count them, or people go up in aircrafts and they go over those particular spaces and air se count karte hain ki kitne elephants hain in any particular area. Okay. And another important part, in 1986, the Asian elephants were enlisted as endangered in the IUCN Red List. They have been listed under CITES Appendix 1, which lists the endangered species, in IUCN. And India launched Project Elephant in 1992 to provide financial and technical support of wildlife management efforts. Yeah. Okay, now a question about IUCN. Again, like any other organization. Okay, first tell me what is IUCN? What is the full form of IUCN, if anyone knows? Okay, cool. IUCN is the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Anurag, when was it founded or established? What is the year? And where? Which country? 1948. And country? Not Switzerland. Yes, it was France. Yeah. It was founded in France in the year 1948. Okay. Now we'll move on to this paragraph in relation to the RBI. First, let's talk about static questions. हम discuss कर चुके हैं ये, so I expect answers for these questions. RBI, which day and date was it founded? I'm asking the day for a specific reason. Day and date of founding RBI and where was it founded?
1st April 1935.
Yes, it is not 1949, Anurag. It is 1st April 1935. Okay, so today is the 86th anniversary, foundation anniversary of the RBI. And where was it founded? Kolkata. Okay, it was founded in Kolkata. And final static question with respect to the RBI: who is the current governor of the RBI? Yes, headquarters are in Mumbai right now. Yes, Shaktikanta Das is the current RBI governor. Okay, let's look at this particular paragraph again. What are the guidelines issued by the RBI? So the central bank or the RBI is basically constituted an advisory council under the chairmanship of BP Kanungo. Okay? They will govern the funds and the funds will be administered and managed by the RBI. The fund is to be operational for 2 years, 2021 and 2022. And the fund has a corpus of 345 crores of rupees. Of this, 250 crores will be contributed by RBI and 95 crores of rupees by card networks operating in India. Card networks kya hai? So basically all of these services that allow us to use debit cards, yeah, credit cards, yeah, ATM cards for that matter. So Visa, RuPay, all of these networks that allow us to use cards. Okay. And we'll remember the names of the two funds: the Acceptance Development Fund and the Payment Infrastructure Development Fund. Okay. And again, the Acceptance Development Fund was proposed by the RBI in 2019. So we are trying to both increase infrastructure, develop infrastructure for payment ecosystems. So phones, bank accounts, telebanking, through actual bank accounts, physical banking, cards, etc. And Acceptance Development Fund is to develop card acceptance infrastructure such as swipe machines. तो जिस machine में हम card swipe करके पैसे either निकालते हैं या we deposit money sometimes, वो सब develop करने के लिए, वो increase करने के लिए these two funds have been, how do I put this? These two funds have been constituted. Okay, we'll move to the next passage. We will be able to do 2-3 more passages today, since we're running out of time also. 7:15. So basically, this is about the first double stack long haul container train. We are going to remember कहाँ से कहाँ ये container train चल रही है. तो New Ateli in Haryana to New Kishanganj in Rajasthan. ठीक है. The train is to be operated in the 360 kilometer long Rewari Mother section of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. Train का length याद रखना है. It is 1.5 kilometers long. What is the speed limit? So we're going to throw about static now. What is the speed limit of freight trains in India? Currently, freight trains are operated at a maximum of 75 kilometers. However, the speed is going to be increased to 100 kilometers per hour. Okay. What is Mission Shigra in relation to this? Okay. The Indian Railways operated Mission Shigra in Uttar Pradesh. It was launched by the Lucknow division of Indian Railways. Under the mission, the trains attained a maximum permissible speed of 100 kilometers per hour. So, abhi jo current speed hai 75 kilometers per hour. This particular mission was carried out Uttar Pradesh mein, where they were allowed to operate at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. Okay. And we're going to remember another thing. I'm sorry, I missed this out. The average speed of the freight trains had to be increased from 26 to 70 kilometers per hour. One final thing, what are dedicated freight corridors? The dedicated freight corridors are high speed, high capacity railway corridors that are exclusively meant for the transportation of freight. So if you guys know, कि passenger trains एक speed में travel करते हैं for the safety of passengers and because there are human passengers inside that particular train. However, cargo trains can move at a higher speed because they do not have life risks or flight risks, obviously. So these freight corridors are made basically for the quick transportation of goods or freight, and they are exclusively meant for that particular purpose. The trains full speed में जाते हैं उस corridor से. And we're going to look at क्या corridors है. There is the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor, the Eastern Freight Corridor, and the Southwest Dedicated Freight Corridor. ठीक है. With that, we will move to the next paragraph. Okay. This particular paragraph talks about supervisory colleges under the Reserve Bank of India or the RBI. So they have formed an advisory council under the former Deputy Governor N.S. Vishwanathan. Council क्या करेगा? The council will identify areas where upskilling and building are required in supervisory colleges, and also the council will plan and develop curriculum of all programs and benchmark the programs with international standards and best practices. ठीक है? In tandem with that, they will also develop appropriate teaching methods so as to put that plan into action. ठीक है? अब supervisory college है क्या? The Reserve Bank of India supervisory colleges were introduced to reinforce supervisory skills among its regulatory bodies. This was done to facilitate unified and focused training inputs to the supervision staff. So basically, RBI as the central bank has some supervision duties to look over the other banks and RBI functioning in general to improve this particular functioning, to improve how supervision works in the RBI and how the members, the employees of RBI establish this. We are looking at supervisory college. Okay. And the RBI established supervisory colleges to monitor Indian banks abroad. ठीक है? तो अभी हमारे पास जो Indian banks are, a lot of them actually have branches abroad, even if we don't know. छोटे branches हैं, but they do have branches abroad. And to which banks were the supervisory college established? So all of these banks which had international presence significantly, the State Bank of India, ICICI Bank, Bank of Baroda, Axis Bank, Bank of India, and Punjab National Bank. Punjab National Bank right now has been merged into a different bank, but it was established originally for these banks. Okay. Objectives we just spoke about. more or less, this is it. And what forced RBI to launch the supervisory colleges? India launched the supervisory colleges after the PMC bank scam, basically to prevent bank scams in the future, because when you don't have supervision, you don't have regulation, especially foreign country में जहाँ कोई Indian representation नहीं है, वहाँ scam होना बहुत आसान है. Point number 7. Paragraph number 7. Okay. So the government of India recently formed a committee to protect land, language, culture of Ladakh and to ensure participation of citizens in the development of the Union Territory. The committee is to be headed by the Minister of State for Home, G. Kishan Reddy. ये important है, याद रखना जरूरी है. Okay. Very easy question. Who is the Minister of the Union Minister for Home?
Amit Shah.
Yes. So basically, when I say Union Minister for Home, it is the Home Minister in general. So Amit Shah is the right answer. Okay. Yes, Amit Shah. Okay. 6th schedule. What are the main provisions of the 6th schedule? Okay. Very important. 6th schedule से questions आते रहते हैं हर साल. The 6th schedule has provisions for the administration of tribal areas in the states of these 4 states: Meghalaya, Assam, Tripura, and Mizoram. And total, there are 10 autonomous districts in these 4 states. Okay? The 6th schedule has provisions for constitution of autonomous districts and councils to frame laws to protect interests of the tribal. It was constituted under Article 244 of the Constitution. It currently holds provisions for the administration of tribal areas in Meghalaya, Assam, Tripura, and Mizoram, just like we did. It was passed by the Constituent Assembly in 1949. It seeks to safeguard the autonomous district councils. Okay, in this context, can someone tell me, with respect to tribal areas and with respect to scheduled tribes, when was the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act passed? And when was the Amended Act passed? Original Act and Final Amended Act.
Original Act was passed in 1982.
Not 1982. Close, but not 1982. Okay. We want to try last act कब pass हुआ था? Amended वाला act. Anyone? Okay, cool. Okay. So the original act was passed in 1989. Close Swapnil, I think, but not 1982. It was passed in 1989, and amended act was passed in 2018. Okay. Why should Ladakh be included in the 6th schedule? Because 90% of Ladakh population is tribal. What is National Commission for Scheduled Tribes? Okay. ये याद रखना जरूरी है. The commission was established under the 89th Amendment Act 2003. It monitors matters related to safeguards provided for the scheduled tribes under the Constitution. Okay. With that, we'll move to the last passage for the day. This is about US elections and capital protest. 30 seconds and then okay. So basically, right after the US election, when Donald Trump lost the election, his supporters gathered in Washington DC, Capitol building के सामने, to protest against the results. So on January 6th, the protesters gathered for the Save America rally. What are the key events? हम थोड़ा याद करेंगे या थोड़ा देखेंगे ये Trump rally in Washington. And at this particular rally, President Trump actually told his supporters to march to the Capitol building. What is Washington Monument? It is an obelisk that was built to commemorate George Washington. He once served as the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. He was the first president of the United States. Okay. In this context, thode static questions. How many terms did George Washington serve as president of the United States? Anyone who wants to try?
1.
No. Anyone else? Okay. So basically, yes, he did serve 2 terms. He served 2 terms. He was offered a 3rd term, but he refused the 3rd term. Okay. Okay, what number of presidents? So George Washington was the first president. Similarly, what number of president is Joe Biden?
46.
46. Yes, 46. Very good. Whose vice president was Joe Biden? He was a vice president.
Kamala
once
Harris.
upon a time. Kamala Harris is Joe Biden's vice president. Okay, I wanted that answer as well. Okay, but Joe Biden himself was a vice president at one point of time. So who was the president
Barack
when
Obama.
Barack
Barack
Obama?
Obama.
Yes, he was Barack Obama's vice president. Yeah. Okay. Finally, we're going to end with thoda bahut static on the Capitol building itself. The Capitol building is specific, the meeting place of the United States Congress. So, yeah, so it's sort of like their Parliament building, and all of their members of the Assembly, members of the Constituent Assembly, members of the Congress actually have their offices in the Capitol building. It is also the seat of the legislative branch of the United States federal government. It was built in 1800, and the Capitol building faced similar attacks during burning of Washington in 1814. So burning of Washington thoda yaad rakhte hain in this context. On August 24, 1814, during the Battle of Bladensburg, a British force led by Major General Robert Ross set fire to multiple government buildings, including the White House and the Capitol building. This particular incident is referred to as the burning of Washington. Yeah. So we'll end today's class here. If anyone has any questions, I'll just hold on for 2 minutes. If anyone wants to ask any questions. Okay, so before we end, I will drop this in the Google Classroom as well. Sunday तुम लोगों का क्लास है, जो Sunday evening का क्लास है, उसमें Suraj will take the class. उसमें we'll have 30 minutes of a question answer session on this particular document. ये जो हम Jan 1 to 15 का document कर रहे हैं, we will not cover the rest of Jan 1 to 15 in class. We will drop it in the Google Classroom. So we have covered more than half of Jan 1 to 15 right now. तुम लोग आज जो कर रहे थे, that was Jan 9 तक, ठीक है? So the rest of 6 days of Jan are in the same document. Google Classroom में हम डाल देंगे. Please पढ़ के आना. We will resume this particular discussion. 30 minutes का we will do question answers on this document on Sunday. And हाँ, बस इतना ही. Email करना है तो please कर लेना if you have any questions. I hope you guys have my email.
हेलो मैम.
Yes.
मैम जितने सारे जो जीके टॉपिक के ऊपर में जो क्वेश्चन हुआ उसके ऊपर में क्वेश्चन पेपर होगा.
क्वेश्चन पेपर हम नहीं करेंगे बट ओरल डिस्कशन करेंगे, तो तुम लोगों को क्वेश्चंस पूछा जाएगा, ठीक है, क्लास में.
ओके.
पढ़ के आना. नॉर्मल रीडिंग आल्सो विल डू इफ यू आर एबल टू रिमेंबर थोड़ा बहुत जो बेसिक फैक्ट्स है, ठीक है. ओके, ऑलराइट, आई विल एंड द क्लास देन. थैंक यू गाइस.